Thank you, guys. Sorry, who was that player?
You want his name?
Mm-hmm.
Played for Everton. It's from one of those Nordic areas.
Oh, what's his name now?
Sigurdsson.
Yeah, I know footballers. They go through a lot.
Yeah.
Because their target. We spoke about one Danny Simpson or something.
Yeah.
The girl just turned up and he said somebody. And next they said she was pregnant and all that. Even the.
I feel for him though.
Sorry,
I really feel for him.
I do.
Because he missed out last season. This season is not even on the list anymore for football. At the time, it was about 31. Because the story was a 31-year-old. And then in that squad, they were thinking about 2 players, Fabian Delph and himself. But Delph returned to the team, so obviously it was him. Right? And he's not played for that long. So it's
another player whose future is really up in the air, Mason Greenwood. You know, all charges were dropped.
Yes.
But legally, he wasn't. The matter didn't go to trial. But some things went out on social media which were seen and cannot be unseen. And it's affecting the way that his career is going to be perceived going forward. Although, to Mason Greenwood's detriment, apart from those allegations, which, as we said now, the charges were dropped. Apparently, the young lady in question is pregnant for him, and they consider. But apparently, Mr. Greenwood was a very, very badly behaved boy.
Yeah.
You know, in the United dressing room, extremely badly behaved. And I'll tell you something. I know United fans out there are not going to say are not going to like what I'm going to say. You know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in club law will always be a legend for scoring that goal. You understand? That was a winner, yeah? Yes. In Sheringham got the equalizer in the Bernabeu. But the way Amana handled United, the laissez-faire and lax manner, the paddy culture that he engendered in that club that led us to have our worst Premier League season in almost 30 years, you understand? For me, I find it unforgivable. He looked at Mr. Greenwood and allowed that boy to get away with murder. And I blame him directly for what he actually ended up doing with that girl. But hey, still, that's not the story in question. Talking about bad behavior off the courts, Emmanuel Amuneke is paying a huge price, for romantic dalliances with a member of staff. He lost his relationship to that actress, Nia Long. Nia Long, man, Nia Long. If I had Nia Long as my girlfriend or my significant other, I'll be going around with blinkers. I won't see any other thing. Just I've been told you should be leading me, so I'm not seeing. Yes.
I can't say lots, but let me just say really.
Yes, just shut up. Yes. But at times the things that the dalliances can lead us to. So we hope we can get something with the Houston Rockets. Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, I would say about Sigurdsson, about Mason Greenwood, about Udoka. Well, there was a man called Samson, wasn't there?
Oh yeah. And there was a babe called Delilah.
Yeah. And there was
That's why I always sleep with a helmet.
Yeah. There was a man called Adam as well.
Adam.
And in Adam's case.
And a babe called Eve.
Yeah. In Adam's case, he had no business in it. He didn't ask for it. He was ambushed. And it is what it is. So that's where we are today. So
you don't think Adam had anything up his sleeve?
The man was asleep.
Oh God, I'm too funny.
He was asleep.
Did you get it? Adam didn't have anything up his sleeve.
He was asleep.
Come to first because he doesn't wear any clothes. Sorry.
He was asleep.
Nobody got it.
Nobody got it.
Anyway, so yeah, that's but in Mr. Greenwood's case, these kids earn quite a bit of money.
A lot. Do you know how much he's earning?
Listen,
basically, he's earning 70k a week.
They earn a lot of money.
70k a week, even when he was suspended.
Yeah.
His
So
money
at
was
the end
rolling.
of the day, if you don't have the grounding, the especially charity business at home, that home training
family,
that keeps you down. Parents who are parents, because not all parents should be parents.
I agree with you.
Parents who keep you down and actually get you to do what you ought to do. There are chances that you would generally be left to your devices. And for a 21-year-old
he was 18, 19 when he broke into
kid, earning £70,000, he can buy a Ferrari every day if he wants, every week if he wants.
In England, if you're earning £70,000 per annum, you're not a small fry.
Per annum.
Per annum.
Of course.
Per
You
annum,
know, but
70K per annum.
this kid earns this thing
A
every
week.
week.
That's
You know,
minus add-ons.
He can buy a
Yeah,
Ferrari.
sponsorships.
He
Yeah.
can buy a Ferrari every month if he wants to. It gets in your head, you know. And you mentioned Solskjaer. Solskjaer will always have a soft. I would always have a soft spot for Solskjaer because Solskjaer brought us from the doldrums. Yeah, it ended up badly.
Back in the doldrums.
Yeah, it ended up badly, but that minute of respite, I would always hold dear, and it led to obviously, you know, Ten Hag coming, with whom I'm well pleased.
Well pleased.
Okay, but that's what it is.
Mm.
In all of that, Udoka's case, also like I mentioned, the other two biblical cases. I pray. You see, the minute we wake up every morning, going back to spirituality and philosophy, we wake up every morning because God has given us another opportunity,
a second chance
to do something right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that the grace covers them.
Yes.
To do something better. Because certainly, if we keep condemning ourselves for every wrongdoing, then I don't think we have enough lifetime, you know, to correct it.
No, somewhere I don't know. It's in the Bible. Somewhere our righteousness is like a filthy rag in front of God.
Scarlet. So at the end of the day, let's just hope that, you know, these guys turn it around and end up being, you know, inspirations for the people that look up to them.
Yeah, Femi, I'll come to you next. But as a United fan, you know,
yes,
would you take Mr. Greenwood back?
Oh yes, I will. In a heartbeat.
Same.
In a heartbeit.
I think any other thing is just
so in a
hypocrisy.
People would say, you know, what about the girl and all of that? Listen, I've stated it time and again. People who know me know for a fact that rape, in every sense of the word.
No, it's an abomination. Yes.
I always say to people, God knows where He sends some types of temptations. Because if I were to walk into a room where a lady, or even a guy, because a guy can be raped, okay? But ladies are more vulnerable. Where a lady is being handled, assaulted to the tune of potential. I'll use potential rape. God should not put me in that situation. Because chances are they'll be trying me for murder.
Or grievous bodily harm.
Murder. He won't come out of that place. So let's just leave it at that.
Then I'll tell you one story I heard. I never mentioned in Sports Home because we never read it up. But a lady friend of mine told me about her tenant's son, who is 16 or something. 16. True story. And was caught molesting, hear this, a 3-year-old girl. Now, when I heard that story, I was going to go, I would have done the junior on the guy, honestly. That guy, to be honest, I would have, as I said. So let's just not talk about it because it's like...
It gets me.
When I heard the story, it was like...
I drop all my home training, all my Christianity. I say, well, God, if you put me here, surely you're going to destroy me. So let's just go.
I'm telling you, true story, I ain't kidding.
Anyway.
So, Femi, what sticks out for you in the news, son?
Well, number one, I was surprised by the Amuneke story, not because his phone was hacked, which is...
It's a normal thing.
It's
probably his WhatsApp, I'm sure.
Yeah, and...
This happened to me before.
It's what he said afterwards. He's disappointed.
Why? With what?
Why did he say that?
He said so. He was quoted that. I'm disappointed.
His faith in humanity is so strong.
Do you go through that lens?
Hello? If they're going to hack you, who are they going to hack?
I thought his disappointment would be the fact that they hacked him to beg for money.
No, it's not him.
No.
What happens? Because it happens. People hack into your WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And when so all the groups that you belong to,
they send messages.
They send messages that you should come and do some.
I hear you. My point is, Amuneke is not a poor man.
Yes.
By any stretch of the
imagination. Yes.
So how do you hack into a rich man's phone?
No, but you can. So there are messages they send. WhatsApp, like we've had an experience here, right? WhatsApp, and immediately, I just saw everybody leaving the WhatsApp group. Like, what's going on? Immediately, I just followed them.
Yeah. So my point is, yes, you can see some messages and you flag it immediately and you start leaving the groups, so you don't get hacked as well. Okay. My point is, if I were to hack your phone,
Let's just
Segun,
use,
for instance.
let's use him as an example.
Why not Obina?
No, because
you are in my direct line of.
Yeah, but Obina is there.
No, he's got 2 months. You said so.
Yes.
Let's just
So he can afford to be hacked.
Yeah, I know. But if I hack your phone, surely I cannot start begging people for money.
No, but you would believe it. That's
No,
the thing.
I will not.
You will believe. So imagine if I reach.
The first thing I'll do is call Uncle Shanks.
I will
call Uncle Shanks. I'm like,
guys, what's going on? What's going on?
But that is
my house.
you. That is you. There are a lot of, and this is not the first time I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen to other people, and because maybe you reach out, let's say you reach out to me, for example. We don't talk so much, but you reach out to me.
Yes.
And I know that because you're comfortable, the fact that you're asking me means you're in a very tight situation. How much do you need? If it's something I can lend, okay, sure, I'll send it over to you. I won't think about it because it's not something that I would think you would do.
Exactly, on the norm.
On the norm, especially when you don't normally ask me for money. For you to ask me means a desperate situation. I would believe it.
I agree, but you see, I agree. Listen, this is me. 1 million people will think differently.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that. So let's look at the law of averages. Okay, if you put it down the center and ask what should the reaction be, I don't think people actually sent money to that account. I'm not sure how many people.
But in fairness to Femi, they come across in different ways. In my case, they were putting out things. There was this what they call pyramid scheme.
Oh, you hacked as well.
Yes. You can see we're all trying to be. When you pointed, you can see we just smile.
One of my guys in the studio,
okay.
Victor and Sue was not saying, "Hey, bros, are you sure that the returns of that thing?" I said, "Guy, no, send that message. No try."
You see,
they go to your groups and so it's a bit more subtle than just say, "I did broke, can't give me money." Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to leave as many WhatsApp groups as possible. So if I get any of those messages, I'm out of that group.
Exactly.
But at first you'll be surprised that is he running a business? And then like you said, maybe you even want to ask him, what is this all about? That's how the scam starts. But
true that.
That for me was one story. The second story that also jumped at me was the Lampard story. Now, this story was summarized into one. So it started off from the weekend when Chelsea took on Brighton. Right, Chelsea lost that game to Brighton, and the scoreline for
why they lost to Brighton?
Because Lampard was putting on his Frankie jacket.
Brighton had 15 players on the pitch, according to Charles. So Monday night, it's like they were playing with like 15 men.
And I felt that it was Brighton should have scored more.
Of course,
for me,
indeed.
For me, if I was deserving, I would be upset.
Where did they get their players from?
Right, everywhere.
I mean, look at that young lad.
Remember, they got a former a Man United player scored too. A former Man United.
Danny Welbeck. Yeah. Then Mitoma. Where did they get that boy from? £2 million
from the university, writing a project.
Alex McAllister, £4 million.
Was it 4 million? 7?
Was it 7?
It was Bissouma. Bissouma that was 4 million.
Casedo.
Okay,
3 million.
Let me put it in perspective.
Okay.
If you go to Obalende, not too far from us here, at 7 p.m. and you will have a good time. If you cut out your elevation status.
Okay, no. What are we? So on the sponsor, we always.
Hang on a second.
We're always very particular about what you.
I know where I'm going.
Okay.
Well, we don't know where you're going.
Exactly.
Hold on. You have a good time.
Did you see Charles there, by the way?
I've seen it. An emerald-looking Range Rover around there parked somewhere. But anyway, I was saying, you have a good time. It doesn't matter what you decide to do. If you're there for the girls, if you're there for the music, if you're there for the drinks, if you're there for the suya, if you're there for the food, whatever you decide you want to do, you have a good time. If you drop your societal elevation, you have a good time. What that means is, even those who you consider not wealthy have a way of making themselves happy.
Have a way of operating their budget.
Yeah, this Brighton, what have you, the other clubs, their budgets they have 100 million. They have 50 million to spend plus salaries. So they go to there's an interest in football now. Everybody can play for Liverpool or City or Chelsea or United. Every other club has the TV money at the end of the season waiting for them. So guess what? They'll do their scouting. They pick boys who are hungry to play.
Hungry.
Teach them the basics, and they will do the basics right. Because guess what? They have something to look forward to. When you play at City or at Real Madrid or at Barcelona, where are you going? There's complacency. You're done. So you cannot compete.
The only way from there is down.
Down. No way up. You can't compete with these kids who have the Liverpools to go to, the Cities to go to, the Uniteds to go to, the Chelseas to go to, regardless, even if they beat Chelsea. Listen, the result of the day is just another feather on their caps. Guess what? I was on the team that beat Chelsea. If you tell that player today to sign for Chelsea tomorrow, he will run there. He will trek to Chelsea.
I can see when it was at Arsenal, the long missive.
Exactly. Even the coach will go, like Potter did. So, trust me, but Brighton, I'm terrified of that team.
You know, it's even Lampard's response to the question he was asked, because the question was, a story came out at the weekend that the owner thought Boli was in the dressing room to talk to the players, which he labeled their performance embarrassing. Generally, their whole season embarrassing. And, you know, they asked them in the pre-match conference for the Champions League game later today against Real Madrid. And Kepa said, it comes around every now and then. And they asked Lampard. And I thought Lampard's response was, I don't know, it sounded like it was doing eye service, because he goes, he's right, the man has passion, he loves football, he has something to say. That even he too, as a coach, he had what he wanted to say, but the owner had what he wanted to say. And I'm like, look, that's the dressing room. If you want to have a meeting with them, have it somewhere else after the football game, not during the football match, nor after a football game. That period is where the coach will pass his ideas, talk about how he feels, right? You're building up to a Champions League game and everything is going wrong for Chelsea. I remember in the reverse fixture, he was asked the same prediction, and I thought that he was being too cocky. How can you say Chelsea will beat Real Madrid 3-0? Chelsea cannot beat Wolves, cannot beat Everton, cannot beat Southampton with 3-0. You want to beat Real Madrid with 3-0 this season? Now, not possible.
Well, they need to now. Well,
at the Bernabeu, not even at this in Stamford Bridge, in Spain, you want to beat Real 3-0.
I hear you. Chelsea. Lampard,
my friend.
Lampard had to manage the situation. You know, when
say
you
no comment.
Well, no comment will not be managing it.
No, but say we are focused on this game.
No, but Femi, what you expect is he's there at Boli's pleasure.
And that's the thing. He's acting like a yes man. Say we are fully focused on this game. What we won't think about, what has happened. We are focused on this one. After Real Madrid, ask me the next question you want to ask me. But anything about what happened at Brighton,
Lampard is not under any pressure, first and foremost. So he can't sound defensive. There's no point. You just read out that they're speaking to Nagelsmann. So what does he have to lose? What does he stand to lose?
And also speaking to lose.
What he has to lose as a manager is his reputation going forward. Now, obviously, Chelsea will not win the Champions League.
The question is, Femi, what is is 1-1 in 17 or 1 in 18?
I'm saying that he's not helping his CV.
He that is down, this fear no fall.
Exactly. No, but he's not helping his CV, because the whole idea of whatever I think of Lampard is my personal opinion. But generally, what Lampard himself thinks of himself is what he shows people.
Okay, so let's address his comment based on what happened. The owner who signed him a few weeks back comes to the dressing room. On face value, the owner may not or ought not do that. However, he did it.
And he can do it.
Because
he owns the club.
He owns the club. He can do it. It's a case of Lampard saying, listen. And when Lampard earns the right to say so, because he hasn't earned it yet.
Yes.
Chief, we understand you bought the club, we appreciate your enthusiasm and your concern, and we applaud it. When we're in the cafe, we would invite you to come over when it will be more relaxed. The kids are still, smarting from the defeat. Maybe your presence would even, make them feel a bit worse and everything. When he earns the right to do so. At the moment, he's just speaking. And like he said, and he's right, Boli can do that if he wants to. The situations would arise. Listen, Chelsea's problems are way more than Boli going to the dressing room.
Yeah. And Lampard.
They've got 4 players in every position and 2 on loan in that same position.
I like that.
So it's a problem. It's a psychological thing for the players at the end of the day. And I don't think they have the right man at the helm to solve that problem.
as in manager or the owner of the club?
So let's leave the owner of the club out of it at the moment. The owner of the club has invested, and he's got the mandate. All right, his mandate is, I want to build a formidable team that does X, Y, Z. He's not asking for the money. He's buying these players. As a manager, you turn around the system. You design the problem out. If you sign a player for me, and I don't use that player, nobody will tell you to sell him. So I pick my 16 players in whom I'm pleased, all right, and use those guys. Everybody else is your business because I didn't ask you to sign them. Now, two things are going to happen. If I get the results on the pitch, then you would respect my position. If I don't, then you fire me. So he has to take a stand. He cannot, certainly, like Potter did. You can't be pulling players from different places and not having a starting 11 or at least a starting 16.
Your formation every game.
You're changing formation. You're not sure exactly what's happening.
Okay.
So,
let's leave Chelsea alone for now. Let's talk. It wasn't the news sound, but I came across that story late yesterday night and early this morning. James Carragher's.
Jimmy Carragher, yes.
Jim Carragher's, let's call him James. Can you imagine? Jimmy Carragher's comments on Arsenal on their loss to West Ham.
Yes.
That it was brought about by complex cockiness and
complacency.
We'll discuss. What do you guys think? Do you think he has a point? He especially spoke about Partey trying to, do skill, in the middle of the park when it was at 2-0. Do you think Arsenal have been?
Carragher as a player was a desperate defender, if you ask me.
Yeah, the sports zone language is not too clean.
Yeah, he was a desperate defender. He was, for me, was the butt of jokes. He ended up in his later years being much better than he was as a younger defender, and that's because he was playing with a better team, if you ask me. I will never forget what Henry did to him for one of the goals he scored. So
Henry did that to a lot of defenders.
Exactly, but his was actually glaring. Anyway, Carragher's comments. Carragher is hit or miss, if you ask me. Yeah, and for him to say Arsenal are being cocky, he didn't watch that particular match. That was disrespectful to West Ham United, because Arsenal are gunning for the title.
No, but let me quote him then, and I get where he's coming from, because I tend to agree.
They were not being cocky.
He said at 2-0, because he was there as well. He watched the match. He was his color commentator.
Yes.
He said, quote and unquote, I'm paraphrasing him, that at 2-0 he didn't see any way back to that game for West Ham.
True, but
remember, this was a West Ham that was chopped 5-1 by Newcastle.
Games turn. It's shocking that he'll make that particular
and that's
statement.
his point. Games turn on and a particular incident was that Partey's incident where he said at 0-0.
It was that
Partey's
incident
at 2-0. Partey would have at 2-0. That ball coming to Partey. That if it was at 0-0, he would have muscled Declan Rice off the ball. Yes. But he wanted to do a bit of skill. Maybe a little bit of showboating.
Even amongst the best, it happened.
Yeah, but you see,
even Gerrard, who was the best, slipped. Everybody happens.
John Terry missed the penalty.
Yes, it happened.
Yeah, would have won the Champions League.
What Sonny would say had his own moments. Those are some of the best players in the world.
Football,
it will happen.
In football, and with every aspect of life. Okay.
Okay.
You want to go on a break?
Yeah, we have to go on a break.
Sure.
We'll take. You'll take your thoughts on our WhatsApp page when we come back. We'll also take phone calls when we come back on Sports Zone.
All right, welcome back. Can
I take a few messages?
Yes, messages.
All right, let's see what you've been saying right here on WhatsApp. Okay. No, this is not for us. No, this is for us. This says, good morning, great guys of the zone. Segun Ladende from Lekki. Is Mr. Segun really a Yoruba man?
I am. I'm from Barricade on those things. What did I say?
Instead of Enyimba Shiwa.
In fact, we are reading it.
So practically what he's saying is that the sentence you constructed
was not grammatically correct.
Yes, it was.
It's life now. Where there's life, whatever. That's where there's life, there's hope.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
The guy in the studio reminds me of Biggie. Talks like him.
Oh, that's J-Man. Yeah, J-Man, you hear now? You say,
who's that?
they say you sound like Biggie. Okay, yeah, true. Yeah, Biggie. Biggie Smalls.
Oh, Biggie.
Yeah,
Is that the
Biggie.
Biggie you're talking about?
Yeah.
I was thinking about the Notorious B.I.G.
And that's
No,
a
that's
Biggie
it,
Smalls.
Biggie
Now.
Smalls,
Yeah, Biggie Smalls. Me say I sabi people now. What do they worry?
That was your
Yeah.
time. You don't know that one.
Tupac. You sabi Tupac?
How would I know who Tupac was?
Tupac. Who do you think was better, Tupac or Biggie?
Oh, goodness. Surely. You don't want to go down that road now, do you?
I really don't want to go there.
No, I'll go there.
I wanna
Tupac.
go there with you.
I'm Tupac.
I
I'm
wanna go
Tupac.
there.
I'm Tupac.
Tupac, longevity, body of work. Biggie, goodness. The guy
think
was
they both-
smooth.
No,
I
guy
think
was
they
a
both
genius. But
complemented each other.
Biggie was. I don't think any other MC has been or was as smooth as Biggie.
yeah, Biggie was smooth. I'm Tupac.
But Snoop Doggy Dogg would have something to say about that.
Hey, Snoop
However-
Doggy Noggin.
However, Biggie stands out.
Okay, so no while. Okay, so we have one
Like I
sitting on
said.
defense.
Yeah.
Me and Tupac, you Biggie. No while.
No, I'm not Biggie. I'm saying body of work.
I
Tupac.
don't. So
So what are you
which
saying?
Tupac or Biggie then? Then what are you saying?
I plead the fifth.
Okay.
Austin Makomo just says, yes, indeed. Charity begins at home, just like a smart dude. We're talking about the Hakimi situation. Good morning, great men of Sports Zone. My name is Timmy K. Please, I'm hearing about Wilder and Joshua fight. I will start my prayers from now. That fight must not happen. And today I feel Napoli will qualify, or will not qualify. Sorry, Napoli will not qualify. They take on AC Milan, trailing 1-0 from the first game.
Okay,
at home.
let's start with his first supposition. His first offering.
Point, yeah.
His first point.
Wilder Joshua.
Wilder. I'm hearing of that fight. Wilder Joshua, then Fury, Usyk. Maybe.
There's also the story of Fury Zhang. Abizaoli Zhang.
No.
Wilder Joshua.
It'll be interesting, but I think Joshua will be up for it. Wilder,
Joshua will be up for
he'd like
anything
to
at this
dodge.
point.
He
He'll be
will
up for
do.
anything.
Yeah, he will be. That will give him relevance. But
Well, I mean,
Wilder
I
will
have a
dodge.
soft spot for Joshua.
So do
I pray he catches Wilder on a bad day. Because the punches, Wilder's punches are sick.
Yeah, really.
And Joshua doesn't guard himself.
Yes,
Well,
he
at
has a
all.
glass jaw.
So he may outbox Wilder if he actually goes with Mayweather for training. He'll probably outbox Wilder. He would have to run around that ring a bit,
I'll make sure it doesn't get
just
hit.
like Fury did. But trying to go with Wilder, punch for punch, blow for blow, he'll get knocked out.
Okay.
All right,
fair.
Napoli, AC Milan.
I worry for Napoli. They've hit a bad patch of form. What did they play over the weekend?
Goalless.
They've hit now.
Yeah,
That means they've not won in their
slump.
last 3 games.
Yeah, the
They've
slump.
hit a bad
No, they
patch.
won. Okay, they've not won
No,
the
they
last
haven't.
three.
They haven't.
Yeah,
They
last
won 1 in 4. It was
Uh-huh.
Lecce, AC Milan, Verona,
Mm.
and AC Milan. So it's one. No, they won 1 in 3.
And Osimhen
1 in
isn't
3.
playing, is he?
No, Osimhen was on the bench at the weekend.
Mm.
Yeah, so he's back.
Well, he's
I
back,
think him
but
and
he's not
Assisi
playing.
Yeah.
He may play today.
Mm.
They will play today.
He may play today, but which Osimhen comes in? Does he come back scoring goals, or does he just come back
That's a very
desperate?
difficult match. It's one goal in it, yeah?
It's 1-0 to Milan at the moment,
Mm.
correct?
It's turnoverable. Does
is,
that
it is.
phrase exist?
Yeah,
Turnoverable.
well, you can use it. It is, but
yeah,
I
it's
think
turnoverable.
Milan are decent,
Yeah.
and this is in Italy. I don't think we can put it past Milan to do a double.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Since the last time when that's it, and they put in 4
yeah,
double.
Yeah, so it's I fear for Napoli, you know. However, I would like to see a Milan Inter clash. So
Inter lost over the weekend, I think. So think. What not? So prediction: who goes through? Milan.
Milan.
Yeah. Femi.
Napoli.
I was going to say I sit on the fence, but somebody
No,
else
you
got to. I suspect that I want Napoli to go through. I do, but I sense that I go for Napoli because I really want them for Osimhen. I go Napoli.
For Osimhen, yeah,
but I get. My heart says Napoli. My head says.
I just feel, in football, bad things happen.
Yeah,
all the time.
One has to take it in. I mean, I actually predicted Leeds to beat Liverpool yesterday. It's like, I did. But Liverpool, after they hammered us 7, Liverpool hasn't won a game in the Premier League in the last 5.
True.
That's the truth. So and
they haven't scored a goal against the bottom 6 or so.
Do you understand? They lost quite a lot against the bottom 6.
Yeah, so
Leeds United lost 5-1 to Crystal Palace.
True.
Yeah, but that's under Roy Hodgson. Roy Hodgson is giving them vitamins to eat.
Emmanuel from Magodo, right? He's talking about the Champions League. He says Chelsea needs 40-day spiritual cleansing at Lagos Bar Beach. He says Chelsea is playing Madrid at Stamford Bridge. I won't be surprised if they spring.
Stamford Bridge?
Yes, they are playing Stamford Bridge.
Oh, okay.
Spring a groundbreaking upset. Emmanuel
What do you
from
think?
Magodo.
Prediction?
No, Chelsea. See, football happens. But Chelsea will not knock Madrid out.
Okay. Femi? Madrid or Chelsea?
Madrid to qualify.
Madrid. I think I'll go Madrid.
Unfortunately, I was really hoping that Chelsea will qualify, so they meet City in the next round. They'll get battered, obviously. And then Guardiola's
the personalities at Chelsea are just not. I mean, if you had to look at the entire Chelsea squad or team, let's say the first 11, if you can come up with yours, who are the leaders on that team? Who can you say, or which spine can you say would take it by the scruff of the neck? I mean, back in the day, you had the Cavaliers of this world, you had the Terrys, you had the Drogbas, the Ballacks
in the midfield.
Who could? I mean, Mikel, these guys would die first. You could say that. Listen, Chelsea can spring something. Kante has been injured, and hasn't come back to fitness. Jorginho, for me, isn't a defensive midfielder. So putting him...
Jorginho is in Arsenal.
Sorry.
For me, you're talking about Thiago Silva.
Sorry, the Argentinian, not Jorginho. Enzo. Enzo's not a defensive midfielder. Okay,
he's a box-to-box.
Yeah, he's a box-to-box player.
I mean, he's more of an 8 than a 6.
He's more of an 8 than a 6, exactly. And then they crowd that defensive midfield area with players who are not defensive, and crowd the attacking midfield area with players who are not good enough. And then you have a João Felix up front who wants to play alone, if you ask me. So there's something disjointed about Chelsea. And you don't play against a Madrid team who understand how to turn results over.
When you ask for the question leaders, Thiago Silva, one. I think Raheem Sterling to a large extent. Also, maybe he's not taking enough responsibility, but should be a leader.
Saying should be means that he's not.
Obviously, there's nobody that's leading in Chelsea, but I'm saying the players who've got that profile who should be able to step into those roles and do stuff.
And we have about 15 minutes left.
Segun from Ontario says, Partey trying to lob an opponent in front of his box was truly criminal. That's the last thing you see from Guardiola's team. Since his days at Barca, his players don't make fancy passes, dribbles. A few phone calls. Yeah. Good morning.
Morning, Femi.
Oh dear.
Hello, good morning.
Hello. Good morning. Jamu from Agbede.
Good morning, Jamu. Let's get your thoughts.
I think Napoli is going to go through. And for Chelsea, it is gone. For Liverpool, they are going to make the top 6, but they cannot make the top 4.
All right, thank you.
You know one thing, I must admit, I love direct and straight to the point.
Hello?
I like that.
Good morning.
Morning, Tony, and everyone. Bishop, good morning.
Morning, dear. How are you?
Tony here. Junior, good morning. It's been a while. Good to hear your voice on radio again.
Morning.
Yeah, I will wish Napoli win. That club been looking forward for redemption ever since Maradona's era, and I hope this year will bring them some glory.
Yep.
And my wish and luck should be with them. Liverpool hitting everybody 6-1, 8 whatever, and they're not making top 4 at the end of the season. It's going to be disastrous. And I don't see them making top 4, honestly.
No, I don't think so either.
Have a good morning.
Thank you.
Even top 6 will be tough for them.
Let's see if I can squeeze in a couple of messages. This is Jaja. Joshua will be a walkover for Wilder. All Wilder needs is to connect with one of his deadly punches, and it's lights out for Joshua. Joshua can't even outbox a Wilder to get points against him, and he risks a devastating knockout from Wilder. All in all, Wilder will win. That's what he says. One call. Good morning.
Femi, once do your motor show on the line, please.
Okay.
As far as he comments, sit at home again.
No,
that's for Monday.
That's for Monday. Sleep at home Tuesday. Domestic matters. They sort it.
Uncle Segun.
Yes.
You are just calling back to back again. No problem. You are in the form of your life.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
The Ministry of Sport has NFF to come account for 17 billion. Is it dollar, pounds, or naira?
I will ask them. Thank you.
Okay, Kari is giving us the hand.
Kari, why are you so aggressive? How do you
the violent take it by force? If I'm not aggressive, the sports zone, they never want to leave us to
you loom over Femi.
The sports zone behave as if the early edition is made up of sport. It's not sports. Sports zone is just the microcosm of the early edition.
You know what Kari said yesterday? I challenge Kari that when it's your happiest moment in the morning, and obviously
it's when it's in this. When it's really good sound.
It's when it's
glowing. Kari comes to me in the morning.
He'll say, "Bro, we're speaking English."
But Ade Rebel here talking about the comparison, and he says he prefers Tupac.
All right.
Yeah, Tupac is.
Who for you, Tupac or Biggie?
Tupac or Biggie?
I did a lot more of Tupac then, so I think I'll do Tupac.
Which one you did more?
No, I'm just. It's a tough call, really, in terms of greatness. But I just settled for the songs I listened to.
Tupac, man.
Tupac was good. Tupac was.
What you won't do for love.
Let's ask the Guru which one he prefers. The Guru, who do you prefer, Tupac or Biggie?
I prefer
and on that very uncharitable note from the Guru, Sports Zone signing out.